Hello friends, and welcome to a Wednesday night beer review. I have just flown to the Big Island and back, and did not get any beer because for work the job was at the airport and we did not go anywhere. So, being as anticlimactic as that was, tonight's going to be kind of an anticlimactic review as we review Blindfold Black IPA from Sierra Nevada. Now, the spring seasonal pack for Sierra Nevada is 4 IPAs. One of which I've already reviewed, and that is the Torpedo Whole Hop IPA. So this I've actually had before because they had it in a previous seasonal pack, and I'm gonna tell you up front, I did not like this. I don't like this style. In fact, I have to say I probably like this style less than, cheap fizzy yellow American lagers. So why am I reviewing it? Well, basically, I have to say, one, it's Sierra Nevada, so you know it's going to be well crafted. Even if I don't like it, it's going to be made well. Two, some people like these. I have no idea why. It's beyond me. But some people do, and they want to hear about them. So let's read the label, shall we? Blindfold, 70 IBU. That's pretty damn bitter. Blindfold Black IPA features a blend of hop varieties whose bright fruity aroma complements the coffee-like flavors of the dark roasted malts. Blindfold blankets us in darkness, yet maintains a surprisingly light body and bold, hoppy character. This Black IPA emerged from our beer camp program and builds on Sierra Nevada's legendary love of hops with roasted malts for depth and complexity. Blindfold plays a trick on the senses with the color of a stout, but the intense hop-forward flavors of a classic American IPA. Now, it is certainly complex. I do not like the complexity. Now, and this is fairly heavy. It's about 6.8 ABV. So why don't I like it? Well, I just don't like dark roasted malts with heavy hopping. It's just too intensely bitter on my palate. So let's pour this out, shall we? Uh-oh. Oh dear. That was probably not my best idea. Okay, I over-poured here. So technically I was aiming for about 2 fingers worth of head, but I got a way lot more. So this is about a yellowish tan to brown head. Very thick, very frothy. And very strong smelling bouquet. The scent alternates in between very fresh hops, pine cones and grapefruits, with a roasted malt character. That's, in this case, a bit more towards the chocolate side than the coffee side, I find. Coloration is very dark, very, very dark ruby brown. And this head's not going to dissipate very easily, because the head on this tends to stick around for quite a bit. Immediately, the strongest thing that stands out in this is the incredibly long finish. You have that intense hot bitterness, but you also have those sort of roasty flavors and, you know, roasty malt bitterness, which is never as intense as a hop bitterness, but it's a different kind of bitterness than hop bitterness. Beer people will know what I'm talking about here. They're both on the tongue at the same time. And to me, that's just weird. It clashes. And it's basically the finish that makes me not like this style all that much. It really feels just far, far too bitter. I'm going to try to give some credit here and, you know, review the front as well. So the immediate thing you get is the sort of chocolatey, coffee, roasty notes. There's also the sort of citrus aspects of IPAs there. And that tends to play a little bit better because the malts are still on the sweet side. But then, towards the mid-palate, the, you know, darker, roastier, bitter parts of the malts kick in just as the hops are ramping up their bitterness. And it really, if I was going to describe it, I would say it's like somebody dropped a ball of pine resin inside a cup of hot coffee. And it just does not taste right. I have to give it credit, it does have incredibly beautiful lacing. Look at that lacing. The previous glass I poured, it had like almost a cascading effect towards the lacing. It's quite sad too, because, you know, the malt backbone on this is delicious. In that front, I can taste a really great, you know, craft mixture of dark roasted malts there. That are sweet and roasty, you know, and just wonderful. I can also taste a great IPA in there, in that finish, that really, really wants a thick, heavy, sweet front to go and, you know, balance it out. Then we, you know, it just comes across and finishes just so bang. Now, I'm going to guess and suggest that anyone who loves this style, which is called the American Stout style, this is actually something that they really like, because this seems to be what a really good American Stout would be. It is not for me. I'm not likely to go and review this kind of beer ever again unless I get it in some other variety pack that contains beers that I do want to review. That said, Sierra Nevada does a very good job on it. Now, if you think that you can find somebody who creates an American Stout that I perhaps would like, and as you know, my great importance in beer is of course balance. You can see why I wouldn't like this beer or this style all too much, even when it's made well. You know, if you have something to recommend me, saying, hey, I got an American Stout here, you know, Black IPA, Dark IPA, what have you, and I think this, you know, I think this is balanced, I think this might appeal to you, I'll give it a shot if you know, tell me what it is and if it's available in Hawaii, or say if you want to do a beer trade. I'm open for beer trade, folks. If you want something here from Hawaii, I'm darn sure I can get it to you. Honestly, though, there's not much in Hawaii that isn't distributed elsewhere on the West Coast, to tell the truth. Okay, so that's your beer review for tonight, folks. In a nutshell, I don't like this, but I can tell you it's well made and will probably appeal to people who like this style. If you like this style, go out and try it. If you're unfamiliar with this style, go out and try it. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you won't like it, like me. But by all means, you'll have a well-crafted beer. So, that's your beer review for tonight, folks. Cheers.